What's up everyone? In this video today, I'm going to show you how to change the oil on this Grasshopper 329B. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do, since I have not been running this machine today, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let it run for 60 seconds just to let the oil get a little bit warmed up. Alright, so that's 60 seconds. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to the next step, which is to take the spark plug and to disconnect it. Alright, so before I go ahead and show you guys how to disconnect the spark plugs, I just wanted to take a second and take note of just how good this thing sounds. So I got the Vanguard engine on it, it's the big block, and this thing sounds amazing. I went ahead and spun around the machine so you guys can see a little bit better when I'm doing the spark plugs, but I mean, listen to this thing. It sounds like a Harley. I mean, wow, you know, this thing has a lot of power, I can tell you that from mowing with it. So back to the video. Alright, so let's go ahead and disconnect the first spark plug here. Now this one, it's right here, it's on the gas tank side, so it's right above the oil filter, the engine oil filter, which is right down here. All you gotta do is just pull back on it and that spark plug's disconnected. Now let's head over to the other side. Alright, so now I'm on the cup holder side of the mower. You'll notice the dipstick here for checking your engine oil, along with the insert so that you can insert oil when you need to. The spark plug is right here just below that. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that one as well. Okay, so the next step in the process at this point is to go ahead and drain the oil. Now there are two ways you can do this. I'm showing you, like I said, on the Vanguard engine on the 329B. The way that the manual actually says to do it is if you look under the engine oil filter, there is a drain plug there. You can go ahead and use that. Now, I talked to my Grasshopper dealer, and there is an extension, a little cord underneath the mower that they recommend that you use. Now, this is my actual local Grasshopper dealer saying they do this all the time, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and do it. That's why I know other Grasshopper owners do it, because it's a lot easier, it's a lot more simpler. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use that. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a second here to talk about what all you're going to need to complete this job. You're obviously going to need a wrench for whichever drain plug you choose to use, whether it be the bottom one or the one below the engine oil filter. If you choose the one below the engine oil filter, you're going to need a 5/8 size wrench. If you choose the one on the bottom of the mower, you're going to need a 3/4 size wrench. You're also going to need a drain quart container. For me, I ended up getting a 10-quart one. Just picked it up at Walmart. I also got my oil at Walmart. You're going to need the 10W30 size. Now this will take between 2 and 3 quarts of oil per oil change. So I just picked up 2 of these things so it'll last me a few of them. That way I'm ahead, I don't have to run to the store that much. So let's go ahead and get right back to the process of changing the oil. Alright, so just a little tip here. Make sure you wear a pair of gloves whenever you are changing the oil. That way you don't get oil all over your hands. And make sure it's an old pair of gloves and not a new pair of gloves that you really like to use. Alright, so one other tool you are going to need if you decide to use the plug on the bottom of the mower is you're going to need a pair of pliers or something to grab hold of the drain plug in addition to the 3/4 inch wrench. And of course, don't forget about the fact that you're going to need to change your oil filter and need an oil filter wrench and also a Sharpie to mark the date and the hour on the oil filter. And of course, last but definitely not least, you're going to want a funnel for whenever you're pouring the oil back into the mower. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the actual process of draining the oil. So you're going to put that 3/4 inch on first. I'm assuming, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do it on the bottom. And then you're going to put channel locks, pliers, whatever you want to use in that regard, and you're going to turn it and break it loose. Now it's going to break loose, and then I recommend that you go ahead and kind of loosen it by hand a little bit, then put your drain pan, the plug over the drain pan so that you don't get it on your concrete, and loosen it the rest of the way. And then you're ready to go. It's going to start draining, so that's all there is to it. It's pretty simple to drain the oil on this machine. Alright, so while this machine is draining the oil, I just want to take a second and say I've been really pleased with my Grasshopper. I had a bad boy previously to this, and I have to say I really love this machine. I mow yards as a business as well as mowing my own, and it is really a great piece of equipment. I've been very happy with the cut. I've been very happy with how it handles the feel and driving it, the durability of the machine. I've been very pleased with the overall performance of the Grasshopper, and I'm going to do a review here hopefully sometime this summer. Get into it and get a detailed review. If you guys would like to see that, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you want to know about this Grasshopper 329B, so that whenever I do the review, hopefully I can make sure that I answer what everybody wants to know about this machine whenever I'm going to go ahead and do that review, just to make sure I get you guys the information that you're going to find very helpful. Alright, so now the oil is done draining after about 3 to 4 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to put the drain plug back on, and we're going to install the oil into the machine. All you have to do to change the engine oil filter is to loosen up with your wrench, and then once you have it loosened, you're going to want to go ahead and take the old one off and then get the new one ready. Go ahead and take some of the new oil, put it on the gasket just to make sure that you're all lubricated there, and then go ahead and tighten it back up, put it back on, and you're all good to go. It's a pretty simple process. I did have some problems getting my engine oil filter wrench in there. The particular type that I had didn't seem to work very well for this mower, so let me know if you guys have any that you'd recommend down in the comment section below. I really appreciate you guys' recommendations. Thanks. Alright, so to add oil to the mower, what you're going to need to do is to unscrew the cap where you put the oil back in. Then you're going to want to also make sure the dipstick is still out of the mower, and you're going to go ahead and put your funnel in and then start pouring the oil. Like I said, it's going to be about 2 to 3 quarts of oil, and I found that held true on my end as well. And you're going to go ahead and fill that up. Always be conservative on stopping. Make sure that you do not overfill the mower with oil. You want it right perfect. So go ahead and check it with your dipstick. The manual says to wait about 1 minute before you check it, so go ahead and do that just to make sure you get the correct amount of oil in the machine. After that, once all that is complete, go ahead and screw your cap back on. Make sure your dipstick is in. Then you need to hook your spark plugs back up, and we are good to go. Congratulations, you just changed the oil on your Grasshopper. I just changed the oil on my Grasshopper. We're ready to go mow. We're ready to go either mow our own yard, go mow some other people's yards to make some money, and we're ready to have a lot of fun with that. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I really hope this video helped you out, and I appreciate you watching. You can subscribe to my channel here, and we will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.